The issue with TYT, I think, and look, this is not all progressives, so it's a group of us. It's like a renegade group of us who feel this particular way. It came down to the choice, man. I honestly believe that this stuff came down to that choice of who are you going to vote for? Are you going to vote for Clinton, Trump, or somebody else? And are you going to co-sign the fact that they cheated? Now, if you're going to do that, if you're going to say, because all of them, with the exception of Jimmy Dore and I think Jordan, decided they weren't going to vote for Hillary. They were going to vote third party. The moment, though, that the team itself goes against their audience in that way, like full bore. I distinctly remember Chink giving this speech where he was talking about vote for Hillary Clinton and making this reference to Donald Trump being Hitler and Trump was going to eat your babies. Something crazy, just intense, over the top. And, they would dance around this thing of, well, we're not supporting Hillary Clinton. We're just voting for her. Yeah. Yeah, dude, I understand you're trying to make a distinction between that. I even kind of understand the distinction. But the point where you're getting out and you're saying, vote for Hillary Clinton because Trump is going to eat your babies. Well, that sounds like support to me. Now, you're going to compound that support by being somewhat trivial with regards to the lawsuit, meaning donations are donations is an insane statement. I'm sorry, that's an insane statement. If I'm giving you money, and I'm giving you money under the pretense of a particular thing, so I'm saying, hey, Tim, I need you to do X, and here's $100 to do X. If you're telling me that you're doing that particular thing, and I'm believing that you're doing that thing, and I find out later on, yeah, that's not what took place. That's fraud. You've taken my money under false pretense. There's nobody in their right mind who would have donated to Sanders if Deborah Wasserman Schultz wasn't grinning in the camera saying, yes, we're cheating Sanders. Like, nobody would do it. Like, the idea is insane. It's like Sanders raised, what, like 100 and some million or $200 million.
Over almost 220, something like that.
Right. $220 million. That's massive amounts of money. And if Deborah Wasserman Schultz comes on TV and says, yes, we're cheating, we're a corporation, we can do whatever we want. Now, that would have been honest, but there would have been no way anybody would have donated that money to Sanders if they would have said they were cheating. The point I'm getting at is the fact that they didn't say that. It was almost like the lie itself was the thing that propagated their ability to continue to take more money. If they weren't cheating them, then that money could have been asserted. People just wanted their legislative will asserted, or they wanted their cash, the fulfillment of their cash. Even if they lost, it's not the fact that they lost, it's the fact they were cheated. It's the difference.
Great point. Exactly. It's just a principle. It's our democracy, man. It's, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but to know that he never had a shot because, like they said, they could go in the back room and light cigars and be like, hey, we want that one over there. Like, she's not even running, though, but we still want her. So
but see, that's the catch. That's what I mean when I say it's like those are two corporations. Like, if it's almost like saying Apple, after Steve Jobs died, if Apple comes together and says, all right, we need to have a process to choose the president of this particular company. And they have an election and all this other stuff. Now, that process is purely internal to that particular company. So nobody cares. Yes, they can handpick whoever they want. If they want to handpick somebody, it's their choice. It's under their corporation. Have at it. The moment, though, that they come out and say, hey, we want the public to get involved in this electoral process. And we want you to be able to send money to your favorite candidate. If the party or if that company has a favorite, and if that company is doing things to kind of push that favorite forward, then they're lying through their teeth and they're getting money from people from that particular lie. This DNC fraud thing it's amazing just because in the scope and the scale.
Let me up the ante on your meter a little bit farther. Newsweek just covered it today, so they did
nice.
Yeah, all right. And you listen to the argument that Newsweek quoted from the DNC. They said the DNC says they can't be held accountable. They have nothing to bind them to being impartial because their claims of being impartial
is a political promise.
So you already heard that. Dude, I'd never heard that part before.
That's amazing.
Like, wow, you are a Democratic. You are a political party. And you're saying, hey, we can say what we want because it's just a political promise. What the hell?
Well, and the thing is, they can't. I mean, that's just it. Corporations are dictatorships. Just by definition, they're dictatorships. So, yes, that corporation can make a decision to do whatever they want. The Democratic Party could literally be in a smoke-filled room and say, all right, we want this person. They go through the charade of a process of a primary because they realize if they do that, the people aren't necessarily going to vote for them in the general election. The internals of the primary itself, however, is their mechanisms. It's their mechanisms. I would make this argument that they don't need to control that mechanisms, that the government, for the most part, needs to have a third-party system of elections. even primaries. They shouldn't have any say-so in those things. But imagine the argument you have to make, or imagine the position that you're in where you have to say, yeah, we can lie when we want to lie, and you can't hold us accountable for this lie. So, wait a minute, you're owning up to the lie? No, we're not owning up to the lie. We're just saying that we can lie if we want to, and you can't hold us, you can't bind us to that lie. That is such a weak position to have to take, like where you're so definitively proven wrong that you have to just say, yeah, we did it, but you can't hold us accountable for it.
Right.
It's amazing.
It's a horrible thing, brother. A horrible thing.
That's a horrible thing to have to.
Wow.
That's an embarrassing thing to have to say in court.
It's a more embarrassing thing to actually live that, to actually be that type of party.